Hey YouTube, this is Logan with Hideaway Homestead coming to you on a really windy day. I swapped out my phone, so apologize if there's any problems with the video quality. May not be as good as with the other phone that I was using. Not that cell phones are really that great for uh, making videos, but I had to get a microphone out to try to cut down on the wind a little bit. I'm hoping this video will be usable after I get done. I've got a mic hooked up to this phone, so hopefully everything will work out all right, because I'm really excited about the topic that I want to talk about today, which is small water features in the garden. Now, what we're looking at right now is just a weedy mess. This little water garden, if you can even call it that, it's really more like a puddle, about 30 gallons. I put this in maybe like 3 years ago, and it's just been left to sit and get growed up. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to clean around it, and hopefully we can check it out and see what kind of life's in the pond, and talk a little bit about the benefits of having these little micro ponds in your garden. All right, here we are back after cleanup. As you can see, I cut all the weeds around it. Well, for the most part, I wanted to make sure that I left this mint here. I want to try to let it take over. Really like mint. Mint's an awesome plant. Definitely going to do some videos about mint later on. I took out the wood that I had sitting there. That's an oak limb. I put that in there just in case anything falls into the pond, it can climb back out. And I've stirred up the water pretty bad. The water was fairly clear just to be a still pond sitting here. And I also took out the water lily. The water lily's doing good. To be such a small pond, it's a surprise. So gonna have that back in the pond here soon. We don't want to leave it sitting out too long. But let's see here. What else? Nothing much more than that. I'm going to show you what the water looked like before I stirred it up. Here we have, you can see it's kind of got a little bit of a green tint to it, but for the most part you can see through it, and it doesn't show up too well on camera, but you can see my little goldfish there. He's been in there probably a year and a half, getting pretty big, pretty common, you know, one of those little 15-cent fish at the pet store. And this here is amazing. Here in this bucket, I have 3 bullfrogs, one really big bullfrog, and they're feeling a little slow today because it's kind of cold out. But these are my little buddies. They're the ones that eat snails and slugs and other insects around in the garden. So super beneficial to have in your water garden. And just for the garden in general, because, you know, bugs tend to be pests and they tend to eat plants. So I'm going to make a few notes on this. This little pond is a 30-gallon pot that a tree came in. I got a bunch of these, well, I say a bunch, maybe about 5 or 6 for free from a nursery that was throwing them out. And it had no holes in the bottom, so I just dug a hole real quick, stuck it in there, put these rocks around it. It has had aeration before, like a little solar pump, but didn't move much water. But for the most part, this pond just sits here. And there's a lot of people who say, oh, you've got to have a pump to have a healthy system, blah, 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 blah. It's not 100% necessary. Now, keep in mind, the only fish that I had in here was one goldfish, and that one goldfish is going to eventually outgrow this little pond. I may not even put him back in here, but the best things you can pick out are either something like a goldfish, rosy red minnows. Mosquito fish are the absolute best because they're live bearers, and you can put a population of them in there and they'll control their population, and you'll have exactly as many as you need. So those would be my recommendations, but this is a really easy little pond to install. You can put them in around in your herb gardens, in your vegetable gardens, really anywhere. And they're just a great, easy fix for pest problems and just to bring better biodiversity to the landscape. So if there's interest in these little micro ponds, I might do some more videos on them and maybe talk about installing them and giving you an idea of how long it takes, and other ideas for containers. You don't necessarily have to use these types of pots. There's plenty of containers that would work. A lot of them you can get for free. And just thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, leave it down in the comment section. Subscribe if you enjoy this kind of stuff, and leave a like if this video was helpful to you. Thanks for watching.